Alright, this is Roger with igadgetgeek, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new AT&T Samsung Galaxy Note 2. So you can see it's pretty much straightforward packaging that we've come to see from AT&T. Just wanted to go ahead and show you what's included. Of course, you have your owner's manual, warranty information, your USB to micro USB sync and charge cable, as well as your power brick. One thing to keep in mind about this particular phone, it does have a 3100 milliamp hour battery. And it does charge at 2 amps as opposed to most phones that charge at 1 amp. So keep that in mind. Some of your current existing USB chargers may not charge your Note 2 properly. You may have to purchase new accessories. So let's go ahead and get this box set out of the way. Take a look at the Note 2 itself. Just a quick little walk around. Now at the very bottom you have your standard home button here with your capacitive buttons on either side. On the left hand side you have your power on and off button right there. On the very top, you have a secondary mic, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. On the left-hand side, you have your volume up and down rocker. On the very bottom, you have, of course, your stylus here, your USB, micro USB port, and your main microphone. Let's go ahead and stick the stylus back in. Now, on the very back, you have your main speaker, your camera flash. One of the nice things AT&T has done with some of their newer Android phones, as opposed to having the AT&T logo, it just has the little world or the little emblem, if you will, and then at the very bottom it does say Galaxy Note 2. I do like this new logo they've started putting on some of their newer phones. I don't think it's nearly as intrusive as, you know, Verizon's logo or AT&T's text logo. I definitely like the little globe here. I think it looks pretty cool. Now on the very front, the only logo you have is, of course, the Samsung. You have your main microphone, your proximity, light sensor, forward-facing camera. So let's go ahead and unlock this. There again, pretty much real similar software to what we've seen on the Galaxy S3 as far as the lock screen. You have kind of that watermark effect. And then, of course, you have your shortcuts at the bottom. To access any of those, you just press and hold and slide up, and you can access directly to your phone. Real nice feature there again, Gmail, and you can customize these. You have your camera. Speaking of the camera, it is a full 8 megapixel camera that does record video in 1080p. It has a fast shutter mode, which is pretty cool. Once you're here in the camera, let's go ahead and put it back onto the camera setting. If you press and hold the actual camera shutter, it will take multiple pictures. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look here at the actual software itself. We'll go into settings. We'll come all the way down here to About Device. As you can see, this is running Android version 4.1.1. Of course, it is running TouchWiz and all of that stuff we've come to expect from Samsung. Now, if we come up here to storage, now this does have 16 gigs internally, which you have about 10.97 gigs accessible. And then you, of course, have your SD card slot. Now, I have a 16 gig SD card. Now, this will, of course, accommodate up to a 64 gig. Now, of course, you can sideload applications, unknown sources, and all that good information. There again, with Jelly Bean, you can come in here to your applications, and you can go over here to all. And if there's a particular one you don't want, let's say you don't like the all share, you can, of course, disable it. So you can come through here. Any applications you don't want, you can, of course, disable those so they don't bother you or interfere with your normal operation. Now let's go ahead and go right in and we'll take a look at the Geekbench 2 and the Quadrant Standard. So I'm going to go ahead here and close out all my applications. Alright, let's go ahead and run the Geekbench 2. Now this being the new AT&T Galaxy Note 2, this does have a 1.6 quad-core processor. That is correct, 4 cores. Now it does have 2 gigs of RAM. In this Geekbench software, it's showing 1.75 gigs available. So let's go ahead and run this full Geekbench. Okay, as you can see, the Geekbench has finished. We have a total score of 2023. Very good, very impressive score, which we'd come to expect from a 4-core processor. So I'll scroll up here. You guys can get kind of a look here at all of this, you know, geek information. Most people don't care about it, but some do. So as you can see, very good score, very respectable out of this quad-core processor with 2 gigs of RAM. So let's go in here and I'll go ahead and close everything out again. And then we'll come here and run the Quadrant Standard. Okay, that is finished. So let's see what we've got for a score. As you can see, we have a 5593 on the quadrant standard, so there's that information for you. Of course, we've got a lot of the same TouchWiz widgets we've come to see and expect from Samsung. Of course, here at the very top, you have their weather widget. You tap on that and it will expand into a full forecast. Very useful, very handy. Of course, you have a lot of the same apps we've come to see and expect. You have all your AT&T apps, all your Samsung apps, your S-Voice, and all those. Plus, all of the apps you can download through the Android market. Now, to actually add a widget, you press and hold. You can go to Apps and Widgets, come over here, and you're presented with all of your widgets. You can scroll through here. Now, I've added some software on here, so there's several widgets that don't come stock. But, we've seen a lot of these widgets before. Nothing really too new there. Now, one of the really cool things that they have changed on this, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the S Pen. Now, once you do, it actually opens up a window, changes the dock, and we're presented here with some of our S Pen applications. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch this on video, but right here on the S Pen, if you look at it, actually before you touch the screen, there's a little circle or a highlighted point there that actually shows you where your S Pen is going to touch the screen. So you can actually get some actual information without actually touching the screen. As you can see here, there's that little arrow and there's a little circle. So that kind of gives you some idea of where that pen's going to be. Of course, you can use it like normal. Now, if you're familiar with the original Note, there's a lot of things you can do with that actual S Pen. You can go in and actually pressure sensitive, has a button, you can screen capture right on the screen and all of that good stuff with the S Pen. I definitely like the improved functionality of this new S Pen. Okay, what I want to do now, not really a comparison, I just wanted to slide this in here to show you guys kind of the size difference. What we have here is the Galaxy S3 on AT&T and the Galaxy Note 2 on AT&T. So that kind of gives you an idea of 4.8-inch screen, a 5.5-inch screen. So you can see here the screen on the Note 2 is very huge, very large, has a very nice resolution. Of course, this is Jelly Bean, so you do have the Google Now, gives you a lot of really good information. Where's the closest Starbucks? As you can see there, it'll go right into the search. We can ask it anything. Google, I need to dispose of a body. How to get rid of a body on the Google search. That's pretty funny. So, of course, you have Google Now since this is running Jelly Bean. Let's go ahead and go into settings. Of course, you get some of your things we've seen from TouchWiz. We can go in here to display. Of course, you have the screen mode. You have the different dynamic, standard, natural, or movie. So it gives you some options there. That's kind of nice. You can actually come down here too to font style. So you can download additional font styles from the actual Android store, pick different fonts, all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool, and your actual font size. Since this does have such a large display, you can come in here and pick a larger font size, or since it is so big, you may want a smaller font. So it's really nice that they've given you that customization right out of the box. Now, we can't talk about TouchWiz without talking about their calendar. It is one of my favorite calendar apps on Android. As you can see here, we have a full widget, gives you a lot of really good information. But if you want, we can go into the actual calendar app itself. There again, you have all those different options. Really good app. Keep up with all your good information. Works in conjunction with the actual stylus. So that's kind of been my full review of the AT&T Galaxy Note